Hello everyone, welcome back to this new video. Today we will learn about how to speak English like a native speaker. Okay, this is the most popular question, how to speak like a native. So who is native speaker? So this is the most important question. So that person is learn English from his birth. Okay, so birth means if you are learning English from your birth and your place, native language is English, and we can say you are a native speaker, you are a native English speaker. Okay, so let's see how to speak native speaker. If you are not native speaker, so this video is going to very awesome for you. So if you are new on this channel, then subscribe this channel to see more videos like this. So let's get started. First of all, I have some special theme here, like master English like a native. So this is the most important question. So let's see one by one. We will cover all types points which can help us for speaking English like a native. Unlocking the secrets of natural English fluency is a journey. This presentation will guide you through the key points, principal techniques to evaluate your communication skill. Okay, guys, so please watch this video till the end. First of all, our first point is pronunciation. Importance of pronunciation. So in pronunciation, I have four factors. So we have to concentrate on these factors. First is clear communication. Second, building trust and enhance fluency. Fluency increased comprehension. Let's see one by one. Clear communication means, so you have to concentrate your pronunciation. So this is clearly message, and whenever you talk any other person, so with any other person, so this is clear communication should be very correct. So for this clear communication, we have to understand pronunciation. Okay, so clear pronunciation allows listeners to understand easily, avoiding misunderstanding and fostering effective communication. Okay, next, building trust. So when we speak with other person and we communicate with other person, so we have to generate create a trust, a sure trust. Okay, so trust, correct pronunciation builds confidence and trustworthiness, making you are more engaging and credible speaker. So in building trust, okay, pronunciation is also important. Next, enhanced fluency. Proper pronunciation is initial for fluency, making your speech and flow naturally and effortlessly. Next point, increased comprehension. You know, if you want to improve your comprehension, but pronunciation is also important for it. Like listeners are grab your meaning more readily when your pronunciation is clear, enhancing overall comprehension. I hope you understand the importance of pronunciation. So you have to focus on your pronunciation first of all. Okay. So let's move our next point. Our next point is about vowel sounds, the key fluency, the key to fluency. Okay. To vowel sounds, key to fluency. You know, without pronunciation, in pronunciation have also important vowels. Okay, mastering vowel sounds is crucial for achieving native like fluency in English. You know, vowels are the foundation of spoken English, and they play vital role in pronunciation and comprehension. Like, you know, foundation of spoken English. Vowels are foundation of spoken English. They play vital role in pronunciation and comprehension. So they are same They are same, but not, we can say this is not same, but understanding of nuisance vowel sounds help you pronounce word correctly, allowing others to understand you clearly. This also enhances your ability to hear, distinguish between different words. By practicing vowel sounds diligently, you will gain confidence in your speaking, become a more fluent communicator. I hope you guys, if you want to speak like a native speaker, in native for native speakers, English have a special pronunciation that can help us to identify who is native speaker. So if you want to speak like a native speaker, then you have to understand these pronunciation skill. Okay, so in pronunciation, vowel sounds is also important. Okay, so next let's move on next point. Next point is about consonant blends and clusters. What is this? Clusters, blends. Okay, so we have learned about vowels, now that is consonant. Blends mean two or more consonants sound together, but two or more consonants sounds together, but each letter is pronounced separately. Okay, for example, vl in view, tr in train, st in street. Okay, next, clusters, more than two consonants grouped together with same letters pronounced as a single sound. For example, STR in street, SCR in screen, SPL in splash. Okay, so I hope you can difference between blends and clusters. Blends mean two or more consonants sound together but is pronounced separately. Clusters means more than two consonants separate grouped together but same letters pronounced as a single sound. This is the difference here. Next, principle, practice. Practice is the common factor for speaking English. You know, without practice, we can't speak English fluently. Okay, practice pronunciation by focusing blends and clusters. Identify them in words, read them aloud, and repeat them until you feel comfortable. Okay, so I hope you guys you understand what is blends and clusters, blends here and clusters. Let's move our next point. Next one is about rhythm and intonation. So what is rhythm and what is intonation? What's the importance in our speaking English? Okay, so you know rhythm and intonation is an identification of any language. Like if you want to speak English like a native speaker, you know non-native speakers also speak, but you want to speak like a native speaker. So you have to understand rhythm and intonation of native speakers. Okay, the rhythm and intonation spoken English are critical for sounding natural and fluent. And rhythm refers to pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. Slangs. Okay, in a sentence, intonation is what is intonation? Intonation is rise and fall in your voice, which conveys meaning and emotion. It's important to note that while English is typically considered an stress time language, some words are stressed more than other words. This is the identification of emotion or excitement. Intonation is powerful tool in English. It can help you express and excitement, caution, doubt, and finality. By paying attention to these elements, you can make your speech more engaging and comprehensible. Let's once more. So let's see. So random and intonation. Random refers to pattern of stressed and unstressed slang syllabus in a sentence, but intonation is is the rise and fall in your voice. Okay, so they are shows They are so excitement, question, doubt, and finality, and emotion and excitement. So this is very emotionally concept here, but you should understand this concept rhythm and intonation. So let's see our next point. Next point is idioms and slang sounding natural. Idiom and slang sounding natural. You know, where we are living, there are something natural slangs or idioms. So they are natural sounding. You want to speak native speakers, but many native speakers both type idioms and slang use. This is the important fact here, because we want to speak like them. So idioms and flex sounded natural like native speakers. For this, we have fourth point, and we can do it. First, rich vocabulary. Second, cultural understanding. Third, confidence boost. Fourth, connecting with others. Connecting with others means native speakers. Cultural understanding in UK, US, cultural from UK, US, Australia, and Canada, because these countries are native speakers. Rich vocabulary means we have to add in our vocabulary which type words they are used by native speakers. Confidence boost. If you do practice more and more, then you can boost your confidence automatically. So rich vocabulary, idioms and slang add color and personality to your speech, make it sound more authentic and engaging. Cultural understanding, learning common idioms and slang phrases gives you a glimpses into the cultural nuances and humor of the English speaking world. Confidence boost, being able to use idiom and slang naturally can boost your confidence and make you feel more comfortable communicating in English. Connecting with others means native speakers. Sharing idioms and slang with native speakers can be a great way to build rapport and create sense of connection. I hope you guys you understand what I'm trying to say you. Idioms and slang sounding natural. So let's move on our next point. Next point is about listening comprehension strategy. So first of all, I tell you, if you want to speak, then you have to understand only one thing. One thing is you can you have heard, you have to do more and more you have to do reading more and more, and you have to do writing more and more. You have to do mm, reading, writing, and other things are also important, but in listening in 90% and other things in 10%. Because if you want to speak, so you have to understand, you have to do more and more listening of music and grammar and videos, and you have to listen more and more. You have to listen more and more sentence. You have to listen English movies, podcast, and new English music. Listen. This is the 90% part of English speaking practice. But in writing, reading, watching, this is only 10% of all over English speaking practice. So this is 10% or this is 90%. 90% means listening, and writing, reading, watching means 10%. So we have to do focus on listening. So there are something um, strategies for listening strategies. So listening comprehension strategy. First is active listening. Second, predicting content. Third, note taking. Fourth, reviewing content. Okay. So active listening means focus on the speaker. Pay attention. Speaker means if you are if you are listening music, if you are listening any podcast, so which person are speaker, so you have to understand mm, which person words, pronunciation, and sentence structures. Which type of sentence structure is um, spoken by him. So this is the important fact here. So active listening. So what you are listening. So you have to understand the sentence, the vocabularies, okay. Predicting content, anticipate what's coming next. So whenever you listening anything, so you should concentrate what should be next, what should be next word, what should be next sentence structure. You have to imagine and suppose imagination do that, okay. Next, note taking, jot down key points and ideas, okay. Whatever your ideas, so you can note taking, and but you analyze them. Reviewing content, go back and reread or listen again if you don't understand what he is saying. You don't understand, you reread and listen again, because you have to understand concept, okay. So this is our most important point here for speaking English, okay. So there are fourth point: active listening, predicting content, note taking, reviewing content. So let's move on our next point. So next point is about shadowing, mirroring native speakers. Shadowing, mirroring native speakers. So there are third point, um, 3 point here. First, active listening. Second, stimulus repetition, consistent practice. So active listening, this is very important. Active, listen carefully to native speakers speech, focusing on their pronunciation. I already told you rhythm and intonation. What is rhythm and intonation? I already taught you, okay. Stimulus repetition, repeat the speaker's words. Stimulation, mirroring their pronunciation, pause the emphasis. Consistent practice, this is also important here. Engage in your regular shadowing sessions with your variety of native speakers and materials, gradually increasing your complicity. So you follow these factors: active listening, stimulus repetition, and consistent practice. Let's move our next point. Next point is immersion techniques. You know, we want to speak English. We want to speak English. Without immersion, we can't speak English, because we want to speak fluently. But without it, you know, if we want to speak fluently, we have to speak without thinking. What I am trying to say, you speak without thinking. So what is important here? Important is immersion techniques. Okay, so there are two techniques for immersion. First, surround yourself with English and make English your daily language. So it's mm, it's a simple techniques. Simple techniques: surround yourself with English. How is it possible? It's possible. Immerse yourself in English speaking environment. If you have, don't worry. If you have not English environment, so don't worry, because it's only first way. This is only first way. We also have second way. If you can't follow them, follow it. So don't worry, you can follow this. Okay. Watch English language movies. Okay, you can do it. TV shows. Okay. Listen to English music and podcast and read English book or articles. I hope you can do it easily. You can follow this technique. Let's see. Next is make your English your daily language. Make English your daily language. So let's see. Change your phone and computer language setting to English. It's possible. You can do it. English speaking communities online in your area or in your area. Okay, join. Engage conversations with native speakers as often as possible. At this time, these techniques are very easy. You can easily follow it. Okay, so immersion techniques also important, very important. You follow them. So let's move on our next point. Next point is overcoming accent challenge. Overcoming accent challenge. Accent. Accent, British accent, American accent, and multiple types accents here. So identify your accent, practice sounds regularly, seek expert guidance, and don't be afraid to experiment. Okay, so accent, we have to learn accent. Why? We want to speak like native speakers, like a native. So identify which type accents are used by native speakers. So this is the important first point here. Identify your accent. But we want to speak like a native. So we have to understand which type accent of native speakers. So listen recording of yours, pinpoint specific sounds, your mispronounce, analyze differences between your speech and native speakers. Okay, you identify your speech and native speakers. Okay, next point is practice sounds regularly. We want to speak like a native speakers, so we have to practice accent like native speakers. Like focus on sounds that are most challenging for you. Use tongue visit to test phonetic exercise and recordings to improve your pronunciation. You can use this. Next point is seek expert guidance. Expert guidance. Consider a speech therapist or language tutor who can provide personalized feedback and technique to address your accent challenge. Don't be afraid to experiment. Try different techniques and strategies until you find what works best for you. Be patient and consistent practice is key. I hope you understand what I am trying to say. The point is you have to understand accent. First, best type accent you want to learn. We want to learn native speakers accent. Native speakers means British accent, American accent, and Australian accent. These are similar accent, but something different is there. But don't worry, something these countries are native speakers, so don't worry. So let's move on our next point. I will cover all the points for native speakers are important here. So you have to learn these type points. So vocabulary building for everyday conversations. Vocabulary is most important factor here, but you want to speak, so you don't worry, you don't learn more vocabulary and hard words, don't worry. Okay, so first way is expand your word bank. Second way, practice and contest. Third way is use flashcards and games. Fourth way, read widely and actively. So here are fourth point here. First, second, third, and fourth. You can improve your vocabulary using these points. First, expand your word bank. Building a strong vocabulary is crucial for effective communication. If you want to do effective communication, you want to improve your vocabulary and word bank. Okay. Next, practice and contest. Learn new words through real life conversation and everyday situations. Okay. I am using some vocabulary words, so you can use them. Okay. Next, use flashcards and games. Utilize flashcards and engaging games to memorize vocabulary. Okay. Read widely and actively. Read widely and actively. Expose yourself to diverse reading materials and actively note new words. So read widely and actively. Whenever you read something, so you can learn new words. You can improve your word bank. You also improve your vocabulary, and you can automatically your conversation skill. Okay. So vocabulary building, everyday conversation. This point is clear. Let's move on our next point. Next point is conversational fillers and discourse markers. Conversational fillers and discourse markers. Okay. Fillers. Okay, yeah, no, don't buy these type fillers. So there are four factors here: something, transactions, buying time, engaging the listener, building rapport. Okay. So we want to learn conversational fillers, discourse markers. Something, transactions. These phrases help you connect your thought and avoid backward pauses, creating more natural flow. Okay. Smoothing transaction. You can use conversation filler in first way. Smoothing transactions. Okay. Next of wine time. Wine time. They give you a moment to think, gather your thoughts, and find a right words to express yourself. So this is the importance of conversational fillers. You should more and more use these fillers. Okay. So next, engaging the listener. This show that you are actively listening and thinking about what the other person is saying. Okay. Next, building rapport. They create a more informal and friendly tone, making the conversational feel more natural and relaxed. Fillers, like fillers means no, yes, mm. So no, yes, uh, these type fillers. Okay. And sure. So there are multiple types fillers. So you remember them, and you can use in your conversation. Okay. So there are fourth importance here: smoothing transactions, buying time, engaging the listener, building rapport. So you can also take the benefit of conversational fillers and disclose markers. Okay. This is our next point here: enhancing fluency through reading. You know, we want to speak is English fluently. Now, enhancing fluency through reading. But I all I have already told you about listening. But reading is also important for speaking fluently. Okay. Speaking fluently. But reading, why is it important here? Because you can improve your vocabulary and sentence structure. Two benefit here. To benefit here: first, vocabulary improvement, and second, sentence structure. You can easily understand and you can improve easily vocabulary and sentence structure through reading. And reading is an essential aspect of mastering English fluency. It's expose you to various grammatical structures, vocabulary, and natural language patterns used by native speakers. Okay. Regular reading helps you develop your deeper understanding of English, improvement your overall fluency. So there are three stages here: how to read, what read. Okay, so first extensive reading, second tensive reading, third graded readers. So extensive reading means reading for pleasure or enjoyment, like I am reading novels, I am reading stories, I am reading newspaper. This is an enjoyment or pleasure. Okay, this is extensive reading. Next, intensive reading. Intensive reading means analyzing text and specific details, like you are preparing for any exam, so you are reading any book, any grammatical book, so you have to analyze text in specific details, so we called it intensive reading. Okay, next, graded readers. Graded readers means book with controlled vocabulary, book with controlled vocabulary, so we called it graded readers. So I hope you guys you understand how to there are three types of reading: extensive, intensive, graded readers. Start with graded reader, start with graded readers. Start with graded readers, then extensive, or then intensive, and then extensive, which are books written with simplified vocabulary and grammar. This help you build your confidence and gradually process to more challenging materials. Combine this extensive reading, you where you read enjoyment and exposure, is a different genre rating style. So I hope you guys what's the importance of reading. Reading importance here: grammatical, you can understand grammatical reader, grammatical structures, vocabulary, natural language patterns used by native speakers. So there are fourth importance here, so you must do it this. Okay, let's move on our next point. Next point is practicing with native speakers. Okay, like you want to speak like a native speaker, so where will you do practice? Where will you do practice? So we have to practice with native speakers because we want to learn like them. So there are fourth step here. First, language. There are four ways. So first, language exchange programs. You can join language exchange program. You can join conversational group. You can tutors and language partners hire. Okay, immersion programs. Okay, so there are fourth way. There are fourth way. You can practice with native speakers, like in language exchange program. Connect with native speakers online or in person or regular conversations. Okay. Next, conversation group. Conversation group, join online or in person groups dedicated to practice English conversation. Next, tutors and language partners. Find a native speaker who can provide personalized feedback and guidance. Immersion program, spend time in English speaking environment for a more immersive experience. Okay, so you can choose one, and if you have more than one, so you can also, this is also more effective here. So let's move our next point. Our next point is cultural awareness and etiquette. Cultural awareness and etiquette. Okay, so respectful communication, social customs and norms, sensitivity cultural differences, adapting to new or environment. So respectful communication. So if you want to speak like a native speaker, you have to follow culture of native speakers. So culture awareness. You want to know culture awareness of native speakers, because respectful communication. You want to do respectful communication. Understanding culture nuances in language and body language is crucial to avoid misunderstandings. Next point is social customs and norms. Familiarity with local customs such as greeting, dining etiquette, and personal space shows respect. Sensitivity and cultural differences. Being mindful of cultural sensitivities such as religion, gender roles, and political views fosters positive interactions. Sensitivity to cultural differences. You want to know. You want to know sensitivity to cultural differences. Adapting to new environment. बिल्कुल. You know, you have to adapt. Embarrassing embarrassing culture differences, learning from diverse perspective enhance your global communication skill. So adapt new environment. So culture awareness, this is also important. So if you want to speak like a native speaker, you have to follow it. Our next point is about confidence building exercise. Confidence building exercise. You know, I have seen many people, they are speak fluently alone, but they can't speak fluently in public because they have no confidence. But we want to speak fluently in public. We want to become a public speaker. So we have to build a confidence. Okay. So there are multiple way here. Confidence building exercise. First, public speaking. Second, role playing conversations. Role playing conversations. First, public speaking. Okay. Confidence building exercise. First, public speaking. For next, role playing conversations. Practice speaking in front of mirror in a small group. Start with short speeches and gradually increase the length and focus on clear articulation and confidence body language. Role playing conversations. Engage in role playing scenarios with a friend, a family member. Simulate real life situations like ordering food and asking for direction, having casual conversation. This help you get comfortable speaking smoothly. So you have two importance here. First, public speaking. Second, role playing conversations. You can do it and you can follow it. So this is our next point. Overcoming shyness and hesitation. Overcoming shyness and hesitation. You heard about this. So let's see what is it. So there are some solving problem, but I have some solution here for overcoming shyness and agitation. Okay, so there are three solutions. First, practice deep breathing. Second, join conversation groups. Third, start with small steps. So first, practice deep breathing. Okay, take slow and deep breathing to calm your nerves and reduce anxiety. Okay, focus on your breath. It will help you relax and gain control. Okay, this is first, deep, practice deep breathing. Next, join conversation groups. Join conversation group. So this is second solution here. Start small. Join a group focused on speaking English. Build confidence by practicing with others in a supportive environment. Third solution is start with small steps. Start with small steps. Begin with simple conversation. Start by basic questions and sharing simple thoughts. Build your comfortable level gradually. So I hope you understand these three solutions for shyness and hesitation. Okay, so first, practice deep breathing, join conversational groups. Conversational group, start with small steps. So let's move on our next point. So our next point is about adapting your speech of context. Adapting your speech to context. Speech to context. Context. Okay. So there are three factors here. First, formal versus informal, cultural sensitivity and audience awareness. Okay, adapt your speech to context. Okay, so formal versus informal means just your language based on setting. Speak formally in professional setting and use casual language with friends. Okay, cultural sensitivity. Be mindful cultural differences, avoiding slang or idiom that might not be understood. So you have to easy them. Audience awareness. Consider your audience level of understanding. Simplify complex terms if necessary. So adapt your speech to context. I hope you guys you understand these type points: formal versus informal, cultural sensitivity, audience awareness. So let's move on our next point. Our next point is about mastering English grammar for fluency. Mastering English grammar for fluency. So this is also important because we want to speak English and like a native speaker. So mastering English grammar for fluency. There are fourth point here. So first, understanding parts of speech. Second, tense and verb conjugation, subject verb agreement, preposition and articles. First, grasping the fundamental roles of nouns, verb, adjective and adverbs allow you to contact grammatically sound sentences. Okay. First point is understanding parts of speech. First of all, you should understand this part. Second, tense and verb conjugation. Accurate your conjugation in present, past, and future tense is crucial for communicating effectively and conveying meaning clearly. Okay. Third point, subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement. Ensuring that your words match the number and person of your subject is initial for grammatical correctness and clarity. Preposition articles. Preposition articles can be tricky, but mastering their use improves overall fluency and natural sounding speech. So I have told you fourth point to improve your grammar. Okay, first, understanding parts of speech, tense and verb injection, subject verb agreement, preposition and articles. You have to follow these factors. So let's move on our next point. So next point is continuous learning and improvement. You know, without learning, without continuity, without consistency, English speaking is not possible. You know, if you really want to speak like a native speaker, then you have to improve and you have to learning and continuous. Okay, so for continuity, you can follow for these points. Okay, first, embrace feedbacks. Second, practice consistently. Fourth, stay motivated. Explore new resources and don't give up. If you really follow these fifth point, you can do it. Okay. So embrace feedback means seek out constructive criticism from native speakers, language teachers, and online resources to identify areas for improvement. Practice consistently. You know, you have to do practice consistently of speaking and reading and learning phrase. Okay, stay motivated. You don't worry. You do practice. Mm, you are doing mistakes and you don't know about the meaning of other things, so you don't worry about that. So stay motivated and keep patience. Explore news resources, but I think this is wrong point here. But there is a expand your learning origins, different learning methods and materials platforms, and you can use any other apps, website or textbooks and you can watch movies and podcasts in English, so you can follow. Don't give up. Learning a language take an effort, pressure through challenges, and stay motivated, positive and positive journey. Don't give up. English is a global language. From this language, you can communicate with all the world. So this is very useful language. So don't give up. We have to learn it. So this is our last and main point here. So we want to speak English like our native speakers. So like native speaker, embarrassing to journey to fluency is continuous process. Okay, it requires ongoing dedication and willingness to adapt and improvement. By actively engaging with English language, you can develop your skill and achieve your goals. Whatever you want, if your medium is English language, you can definitely achieve your goal. I hope you guys you understand. If you have any kind of doubt, please write in the comment box, and if you are new on this channel, then subscribe this channel to see more videos like this. See you in my next video very soon.